So even though we've covered in this class some of the mainstream international relations theories, realism, liberalism, social constructivism, it is worth noting that there are other international relations theories that do come into play and help us understand the global community. So I'll mention a few. Globalism, for example, focuses on that division between the rich and the poor. Think again about that north-south divide and the development gap. Globalists suggest that the reason why countries are rich is because they exploit the poor. That relationship is a zero-sum game. That developed countries actually exploit the poor countries by taking from them, or let's say buying from them at very reduced prices, at very cheap cost, their labor and their natural resources. And from that, they then make exorbitant amounts of money or significant amounts of profit off of what they buy from the poor countries. This creates a pattern of dependency and a relationship that is quite uneven. Another approach to understanding the global community comes from a feminist perspective. Feminist IR scholars suggest that the way in which we currently understand the global community, that those concepts and ideas that we use are gendered. What they mean by that is that we focus extensively on issues of conflict and war, power, reason, law, order. These are masculine characteristics, according to these scholars. Instead, we should be focusing on, or in addition, let's say, we should be focusing on issues of cooperation and intuition and other aspects, other issues that reflect the female perspective. Moreover, feminist international relations scholars suggest that there aren't very many women that make decisions in the global community. You don't see many women that are heads of state, heads of agencies that interact with the global community. So this leads to an absence of the female perspective when it comes to understanding global relations. And finally, I'll mention transnational advocacy network theory. According to these scholars, we need to focus more in terms of understanding the global community on non-governmental actors, and particularly collections of non-governmental organizations as they work to pressure governments and communities to behave in a certain way, make certain decisions, and engage with one another in the global community on certain issues. So these collections of non-governmental actors, or what we call transnational advocacy networks, are critical to helping us understand the global community today. So for example, let's look at the international campaign to ban landmines. This was a network of more than 1,000 NGOs that came together to pressure states to ban landmines. Same thing for cluster munitions. There was a similar network that came together to pressure governments to sign a treaty to ban the use of cluster munitions. These types of transnational networks are critical actors in today's global community, according to these theorists. So take these three new sets of lenses and try them on. Put on the globalist lens and take a look at poverty in Africa. How would you understand and explain poverty in Africa from a globalist perspective? Similarly, with feminist IR theory, put on those lenses and have a look at maternal health around the world. How might you understand and explain maternal health from a feminist perspective? And finally, transnational advocacy network theory. Put on that set of lenses and have a look at emerging environmental protection law, for example, and let us know what you think.